was Mayor Marian McClellan's first term here in office, and it was Erik Tungate, our city manager's first year here as city manager, and since then so much has happened, so much significant change has taken place. There's been significant economic development, wonderful building of infrastructure, and financial stability, and it's just wonderful. Before we start the night, I'd just like to point out you probably have a program. We're going to hear from our city manager first, and then we'll hear from Mayor Marian McClellan. And now our city manager, Erik Tungate. Please help me out.
Thank you very much, Jocelyn, and thanks to all of you. Before I begin, I would be remiss if I didn't give a big thanks to our Department of Public Works. How about their activity in the last 24 hours? Truly amazing and great public service for our residents. I want to welcome state and local elected officials, the dignitaries, city staff, guests, and esteemed residents and business owners. And good evening to my 5 bosses, who are sitting to my left and one to my right. For those of you that don't know, as Jocelyn said, I'm the city manager, Erik Tungate, and this is, in fact, the fourth year in a row that I have been bestowed the honor of opening tonight's State of the City address. And before I introduce our great mayor, Marian McClellan, I'd like to say a few words and even make a few announcements. For starters, you may have noticed that there are sunflowers at either ends of the council chambers and in the centerpiece of the tables in the hallway. Starting this spring, we will be planting sunflowers in various locations throughout the city. And I think we have a slide to show that. So when we were thinking about this, we thought, what would brighten up some of these drab corridors? And we thought, nothing better than sunflowers, because here we go. Sunflowers represent happiness, faith, hope, and of course, unity. And as these wonderful flowers bloom this spring and summer, we will let them represent our better nature, and we will surely see all of the hard work that we've put in for the last several years come to bear. I'm very excited about it, and I hope you will join me. One of the corridors that I'm most excited about is the 10-mile corridor where Coolidge meets 696. You'll be seeing sunflowers planted in that area. We will also be pursuing what I'm calling pop-up recreation activities. Some of you know what this means. Pop-up recreation activities include volleyball, so sand volleyball, ping pong, beanbag toss, and maybe even, there we go, there's some of it, maybe even table chess. And these are activities that we will place in the spring and in the summer in various locations throughout the city, and you can walk up and participate. These are truly remarkable things that our residents can partake in the evenings, and sometimes younger adults and children in the daytime. I mentioned a moment ago that tonight is a special night for many reasons. And for those of you who have been following our journey to restore this city's greatness, you know that we've made some great strides in a number of areas, and in particular in our financial house. Our financial house 4 years ago was not in order. And that's why, and city council members do not know this, by the way, I'm announcing tonight that when I present the city budget in May, I will be presenting a 3-year budget that will be balanced for the next 3 years. In fact, I hope to have a balanced budget. I will have a balanced budget, and I hope to have as much as 15% set aside in our rainy day fund going forward. This includes a retiree health care contribution that we have not done in as many as 20 years. We're getting out ahead of our liabilities, our long-term liabilities. I'm very, very proud of our finance department for arranging for that. And because we've been able to identify savings in many areas of our operation, for the first time in many years, we will be funding new programs, some in our recreation department, other programs in public safety, the mayor will be talking about in a moment. I'd also like to say that while I wasn't sure that I would be able to do this tonight, we have a very special guest here among us. And I would like to bring this special guest up to the podium. Kurt Catallo, could you join me? Kurt has something to say. Kurt Catallo is the owner of Union Joints, for those of you that don't know, and he has an announcement.
Hi there, it's an honor to be here tonight and represent Union Joints. We are a small independent restaurant organization out of Clarkson. We've been doing this for 21 years now, which is a long time. And really when we started this 21 years ago, part of our purpose was repurposing. I think I speak for Ann Stevenson, my wife, and Eric Lyons, our managing partner, when I say that what we love about the restaurant business is it gives us the opportunity to take buildings and to repurpose them, to bring new life into buildings that had always served one purpose, but were destined to serve another. So if you go to my slides, I'll show you what I mean by that. So Union Joints, as a restaurant group, is fortunate that we've always had different entities, and those entities are in buildings that are as varied as an 1840s Baptist church in Clarkson, which opened in 1995. Which is very vibrant today. Union General Gift Shop is in the parsonage next door. And it's something that we're very proud of. We served 1 million mac and cheeses in that former church. Almost a million, but very close to being part. When you look at our bake shop and Union Wood Shop, which is our barbecue joint on Main Street, we're very proud that it's a Free Press Restaurant of the Year. Again, it's repurposing a great old commercial storefront. Vincetta Garage, which is in Berkeley on Woodward Avenue, was the oldest family-owned service station east of the Mississippi. It had always been that until we were fortunate with Casey Crane to repurpose it into another purpose. And it's a very vibrant business right now. It has over 150 employees, and it's a great source of income for them, prime for us, and vibrancy for Woodward Avenue. But Woodward Avenue isn't the only corridor in town. We know that 8 Mile has equal importance. In Fenton, we're very fortunate that the city of Fenton awarded us, through a DDA project, their original fire station, which had always been a fire station. They gave us that and some seed money to turn it into the Fenton Fire Hall. Again, we're very proud of it. It had always been one purpose, and was destined to serve another. So Oak Park happens to have one of these buildings that fits all of these criteria. It's historically important. It had always served one purpose and is destined to serve another. It is a place that you can't replicate. It has an importance in the community which you can't understate. It is an icon, it is a beacon, and it is something that we are very proud to announce that we are going to repurpose into the next Union Joints. It looks like this. One of the things that we know about any building that we undertake is that it has an importance that's bigger than us. And this Albert Kahn designed masterpiece on 8 Mile is something that we would only be the stewards of. Purchasing it from the owners just gives us the right to make sure that the legacy of this icon is preserved. And our goal as we turn it into a Union Joint is to make sure that we do just the same. We know that it's always going to be WWJ or 8MK or whatever to the passers-by, but it'll always have a place that is of greater importance than what we're going to do with it. What we're going to do with it is pretty straightforward. We want to make it a restaurant with kind of an event component. We know that it's really a special setting. If you look out the back, it's almost pastoral. You're on 8 Mile Avenue, but you have this view north that is just picturesque. I mean, you open the garage doors of these bays and back, and you don't know where you are. It is a really special building and a really special location, but more importantly, it's in a community that's committed to this kind of creative forward progress. And let me tell you that in meeting with Erik Tungate and Kimberly Maroney, we know that there is a vision for Oak Park that can include a project like this. We lured them out to Clarkson just to learn a little bit more about Oak Park, and they came representing this community in a way that everybody here should be proud of, because they made us true believers in the future of Oak Park, enough that we want to invest in it ourselves. And even working with Kevin Rokowski on the planning side, and Denise DeSantis, we know that this is a community that knows how to move forward carefully, and sometimes you can move forward by looking a little bit back, and that's exactly what we're going to do with this structure. So we have a few other slides that I'll show you, and then I'll turn it back to your regular business. But if you look at the way this was, I mean, it's a very special structure. Albert County, you can't understate its importance. We know that it's 8 Mile Road, not 8 Mile Moat. We want this to be a place that's inviting for all of the communities around it. To the north, south, east, west, we want this to be a draw, and we think that it's unique enough, and the kind of grub that we're going to do in there is authentic enough that it can be that. One of the things we're proud of is that we list repurposing as part of our purpose. Vincetta Garage is a good example of that. When we started, it was desolate, and now it's very vibrant. So we'll post all this stuff for you to take a look, but I just wanted to say that on behalf of Union Joints, it's an honor to announce this project. It's an honor to take a station back on the air. It's an honor to take something that means a lot to historians like Ron Campbell in Oakland County, who had this on his radar, who knew that this structure needed to be preserved, and this was the time to stabilize it. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make sure that this is here for generations ahead of us to admire, because there's no doubt that when you drive by this, it emanates a spirit of radio, it emanates a spirit of Oak Park, and it emanates something bigger than just a restaurant. We know that part of our purpose is to always make sure that we give back, and this is designed to do it. We think that it's an opportunity for growth with employment in the community, and more importantly, it's an opportunity for us to resurrect a building that's important to everybody who drives down 8 Mile. Thank you very much for having us.
We know that we have our, of course, Kurt and the Union Joints group. We also have our city council, and of course our residents who allowed for the passage of Class C liquor licenses back in May of 2015. This is the kind of thing we had talked to you about when we went out and did this. So here you go. So while there are some approvals that are still needed, Kurt and his group were comfortable enough at this point to bring news of this exciting business and, as he mentioned, refurbish a very, very historic, important, nationally important facility. I'm going to wrap up here and I'm going to turn over to the mayor, but as you can see, this is an exciting time for us. There's no doubt. Thanks to our residents who have given us their full support, we have been given a second chance. We have corrected our finances, and as you can see, with our FedEx project on the southwest corner of the community on 8 Mile Road, and now this project on the southeast corner of 8 Mile Road, guess what? We've got some momentum going here. It's good news. We are... So we have, along the way in this journey, we are fighting our way back, and we become a strong city and a strong government. We're a government where actions where they are necessary, we take them. We don't hesitate. And it's an appropriate time, really, when you think, going back to the sunflowers throughout the community. It's a time of hope and unity and getting things done. This spring and summer are the dawn of a new era for us. And as the mayor will detail in a moment, we are building unbelievable momentum towards a much brighter future for our city. And so it is now my distinct honor to introduce Mayor Marian McClellan.
As Erik Tungate noted, we have witnessed significant change in the past 4 years. Almost unbelievable change. It was a desperate time, and now we're in a time of hope, and it's a blessing to have witnessed it all. We've gone from down and out to up and coming. We've changed our trajectory in many ways, arresting decline and accelerating growth. We are creating a city destined for vibrancy, energy, and prosperity. This is a great Oakland County turnaround story. According to SEMCOG data, from 2000 to 2014, we had about 15 new housing starts in Oak Park. This year, 64 residential starts have been approved, and the largest is Jefferson Oaks, the project that will rehabilitate Jefferson School and turn it into 20 beautiful new apartments with an additional 40 units of 3- and 4-bedroom townhomes. This is south of 9 on Republic, and we're expecting great things from this project. Welcome to the Oak Park Community Housing Network. Thank you for coming. Our taxable values in Oak Park tanked during the Great Recession, but this year we have the second highest increase in property values in Oakland County of 14%. Help homeowners who are underwater on their loans, but won't harm you as taxpayers because tax increase is limited to 0.3%. So your home is worth more, but your taxes aren't going up. That's safe. Thanks to Erik Tungate, our aggressive, impatient, and very efficient city manager, we've managed our resources carefully, slashed millions of dollars in healthcare costs over the past few years, refinanced a second road bond, saving our taxpayers over $2 million over the life of the loans. That's significant. We built a world-class economic development department, thanks to him, restructured city departments to be more efficient. He worked hard to improve the fund balance, the city's rainy day fund, for the day that the economy or Mother Nature throws us another curveball. Nice to have some money on hand. In 2011, our general fund balance was 2%, and today it stands at a very comfortable 15% of expenses. So Eric, you can't simply cut your way out of a bad situation, you have to grow your way out of it. So he is experienced with economic development at the state and county level, allowed him to plan the necessary steps to grow the city. We're focusing this year on infrastructure improvement to bring vitality to Oak Park. There isn't time to list all of the positive changes occurring thanks to our city manager. City Manager Erik Tungate, please stand for a well-deserved round of applause. But he can't do them alone. Over the years, we have put together an exceptional team of department leaders who not only get the job done, but who bring extraordinary competence and passion to their positions. Our city attorneys, Ebony Duff and John Kaluli, John is here with us tonight, have done an excellent job aligning our limited resources with some of the best legal opinions in the state. We have them to thank for our recent successes in the legal field. Please stand to be recognized, City Attorney John Kaluli. You might have noticed today that this winter is bringing some polar vortex weather, but our staff is up to anything. Funny, getting a haircut today, I met a former resident, Stuart Levine, who said, you know, when it snows, you can count on Oak Park streets being plowed. Oak Park and Birmingham are more dependable than the rest of the county. Bring and brag. Our residents can't say enough about our efficient, caring work of our public works people. They've been up since 4 in the morning. They are superior despite severe cuts in manpower. They are doing an extraordinary job. We are very fortunate to have a multi-skilled assistant city manager who also is the Director of Public Works and is also the city engineer. His team added those beautiful welcome signs throughout the city to brand our city as a community on the move. They built the landscaped island on Coolidge at 8 Mile, improved the water system, including the pump system and the reservoir. This year, they're going to replace 6 traffic lights on 9 Mile and 2 on Coolidge. They're going to repair Oak Park Boulevard in Lincoln between Coolidge and Greenfield. In April, when MDOT begins that big project taking down the bridge over 696, it's going to be disruptive, but very helpful at the end. Our city engineer will monitor this work. Thank you for the many skills you bring to our city. Assistant City Manager, Kevin Yee. Keeping our residents safe is the most important charge of city government, and we are blessed to have a first-rate Oak Park Public Safety Department, which you probably know is a combination of police and fire and emergency services. So they are very busy. They're well known for professional caring services. Many of you have said that if you were ill, they came, they were kind, they were helpful. I see a lot of nodding heads. Through Director Cooper's continuing diligent recruitment efforts, we have restored more positions. He is focusing on increasing diversity, improving community relations, and professionalism. We will see more officers available to schools in the school district. The wildly popular Citizen Academy will expand to expose our teens to the world of public safety. And we have some graduates of the first class here. Would you stand and be recognized? Our department doesn't just respond to crime, they are proactively analyzing crime trends and best practices. Thank you for your strong leadership, Director Steve Cooper. We don't have a newspaper except for 115 that covers Oak Park. And we were known before as a communications desert until our new department changed all that. We're nimble enough to respond to emergencies. We get our residents crucial information in real time. 2,000 of you were kind enough to give me your email address so that you get instant communications. Tell your friends and neighbors to do the same. If there are residents who don't use computers, we will use robocalls for emergency information. You may have met our Director of Community Engagement and Public Information at every single event, taking photos at the year. Did you love seeing them on the beautiful new calendar? She did a great job. And there's always, make sure the marquee is keeping us regularly updated. New website is slated to go live within the next few months. Please welcome Director Denise DeSantis. In past years, the Recreation Department struggled to break even, but now this year, revenue versus expenses are at break even or better. After work on the overpass is done, we will see an improved new playground with fancy poured surface and new playground equipment. As the city manager mentioned, we can look for pocket parks with pop-up events to make our town a more exciting place to live. Things are happening in Oak Park. Keep looking for sunflowers peeking their heads out around Oak Park this summer. Lots of good energy in our recreation programs. Things are moving in the right direction. This year, the clerk's office runs elections, prepares our council meetings, organizes our city-appointed boards and commissions. I want to thank the people who donate their talents and energies and wish to be engaged in local government. Many thanks to our board and commission members who volunteer to serve the community. The clerk's job will be complicated this year by the state eliminating straight party voting. which unfortunately will cause longer lines and wait times. We deeply appreciate the work of City Clerk Ed Norris. Our economic development efforts are in hyperdrive this year, as evidenced by the development that Kurt Catallo is bringing to Oak Park. Thanks again to Kurt. We were up 29 business starts in 2014 and thought that was a great improvement. Last year, we had 70 new businesses. First month of 2016 alone, we have 14 new business starts, and as you could tell by the new developments, we ain't seen nothing yet. Construction on the interior of the FedEx facility on 8 Mile Road is being completed. They expect to open in August, bringing jobs and needed tax revenue. That is the linchpin of our city's comeback, but it's only the beginning as economic development gains momentum in Oak Park. For many years, the former Providence Green was an eyesore, but it is now being turned into a community asset. A $7.1 million investment is totally renovating the newly named Loop on Greenfield. There are already new roofs. There is actually a loop in the driveway. New doors and windows, new asphalt, and $27,000 has been done in tree trimming. They're going to start investing in landscaping once spring comes. The pool contract is signed to start in the spring, so the pool is going to be working. As is the case for all of the projects I'm mentioning, this is a welcome rebirth that will revitalize that area of the city. In August, the biggest Planet Fitness in the metropolitan area will open in Parkwoods Plaza at Coolidge and 696. We can all get fit. And now, with the updated liquor ordinance, we are ready to welcome up to 20 new restaurants, including the one in that beloved building that had been WWJ. Thanks, Jim. Former Mayor Naftali began the process of beautifying the Four Corners at 9 Mile and Coolidge. Our new corridor improvement plan, recently okayed by this council, will bring more exciting development to 9 and Coolidge. For all of this and much more, we thank our Economic Development and Communications Director, Kim Maroon. I said who walks on water, but she made me cut that. Just saying. Technical and Planning Department has expanded the number of code inspectors to ensure that residents and landlords keep their homes up to the Oak Park standards that we have become used to. We have beautifully built and maintained homes in our family-friendly city that are priced right. They are a deal. We have young families moving in now, and 20-somethings looking for a great location are starting to discover Oak Park. This department continues its successful drive to control rodents with visits to residents, informational brochures, discounts negotiated with exterminators, and diligent code enforcement. Tired of chasing your garbage can lid down the block? We have mini dumpsters that you can order at the clerk's office and will be delivered right to your door. This year, half the houses that were in foreclosure were put on a payment plan by Andy Meisner, the Oakland County Treasurer. And my kid. The others are being upgraded with a lot of investment and will be sold to owners in Oak Park. So this is a turning point for us. If you are a new business owner hoping to open quickly, you can depend on getting your plan reviews and permits in 2 months. Oak Park is open for business thanks to the efforts of Director Rob Barrett. We have been very fortunate to get He is providing quarterly written reports to the governing body about any needed budget adjustments. He formulated a new investment strategy to increase returns and has been wildly successful, as we see our returns are 5 to 6 times higher than in previous years. Director Johnson, please stand, accept our appreciation for a job well done. For the first time, all human resources functions are centralized in one department. There will be regularly scheduled employee reviews. Our new director exhibits calm expertise and is a welcome addition to our staff in her new position. Please stand, Human Resources Director Vicki Brooks. The Oak Park Library has been busy. Work has started on upgrading our teen area to free up seating for other patrons. The new area will have a check-in procedure and 2 staff members present from 2 to 6 p.m. daily. We have doubled the number of computers and increased user services like free printing from your remote at home. Thanks to the Friends of the Oak Park Library, we have Zinio service, which helps us get magazines. After signing up in the Oak Park Library, I read this month's Oprah at home on my laptop for nothing. Magazine circulation is up over 100%. We enjoyed the best summer reading programs in recent history, with attendance of over 2,200 people at events throughout the summer. Our library is on the move, thanks to Director Brandon Bowman. In the short time he's been here, IT Director Ricardo Sigson has installed Wi-Fi in all city facilities. By the way, you can log on to our free Wi-Fi, I see people taking off their cell phones, by finding Oak Park Guest and using the password Oak Park Guest. Our new phone service will allow quicker resolution of resident issues. Director Singson conducted the first full inventory of IT assets for the first time in 10 years. And I have firsthand knowledge that he can fix computer problems that have stumped other people. Have you noticed that all the library computers are new and up and running well? Welcome to the staff, Director Ricardo Singson. In 2014, we embarked on a new frontier with the development of a strategic plan for the future of the City of Oak Park. Our main priorities for the city's growth are centered around 3 areas: community, culture, and commerce. We have made amazing strides toward implementing our vision for the future of Oak Park. It amazes me every day how many new things that we're doing and checking off our list of goals. We identified our mission, providing the highest quality of life for our residents, priding ourselves on the richness of our cultural diversity, maintaining our safe and secure neighborhoods, actively encouraging residential and business growth, and remaining business-friendly and family-friendly. Our vision for the city's future is strong. We will lead the region as the most dynamic city in metropolitan Detroit, serving as a destination for cutting-edge community life. I'd like to close tonight by sharing my personal dream and hopefully invoking your imagination. The beautiful new boulevards at 9 and Coolidge are closed to traffic for a busy art fair, with colorful booths and street performers delighting residents. Families are biking our bike-friendly streets. Imagine you're sitting on the flowered patio of an elegant restaurant, surrounded by twinkling lights and soft music. music. Imagine you're celebrating a birthday under the stars with a delicious dinner and maybe a gin and tonic. Imagine people watching as busy shoppers from all over the county enjoy rare shops, unique coffee houses, jazz clubs, bistros, and art galleries. Imagine that Oak Park is a regional destination. Imagine the prosperity. Now, open your eyes and see clearly. Our city departments are well organized. Our finances are settled. And comprehensive development plans are being implemented. We have emerged from despair to a clear vision of our city's brilliant future. With continued wise planning and foresight, Oak Park is ready to face life's uneven ground. The best is definitely yet to come. Thank you and good night.